the support and the work that they have been giving us. It has indeed been wonderful and good for us to really cooperate and work together. So I think we want to just finish there. Those are the remarks that we wanted to have as part of the chairman's report, and we really want to thank God for that. So I think before we find whether there are any comments or questions with regard to the chairman's report, probably we may want to adopt the report by having somebody to propose the report of the chairman and somebody to second the report. And I think once you lift your hand, we should be able to see you and call you, so that once we adopt it, in case there are any comments, we will allow 1 or 2 comments or questions, and then we can go to the next item on our agenda. So we can have somebody to propose the report of the chairman. Yeah, I can see, right. I can see we have Jacqueline Milgo. I can see she has lifted her hand. Jacqueline Milgo, member number. Yes, I can see. Yeah. Yeah, Jacqueline, member number 70. Clarify that.
Okay, thank you. The board chair, I'd like to propose the report of the chairman. Jacqueline Milgo, member number 7011.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you, Jacqueline. Appreciate that. Then Joseph Maina Mwangi. I can't see your membership number very well, but Joseph Maina, would you go ahead?
Hello. I second.
All right.
I second Joseph Maina Mwagi, member number 131.
Okay, very well. Member number 131. Thank you, Joseph, and that is appreciated. So maybe just to, in case there is a delegate who has a question with regard to the chairman's report. Any area of clarification you would want to have? All right. Okay. Yeah. So I think that report is adopted, and we go on to the next. We want to also adopt the report of the supervisory committee. Okay. Yeah. So our chairman for supervisory presented his report, Wilson Kifadhi. So we want to propose and second that report, and so that we can have it formally adopted in this ADM. So let's have some people to propose and second. If you are in a good place that you can also, as you propose, you can put on your video for half a minute and put it back once you comment. I think that would be good if you can put your video. But if your internet is not too good, then we understand. Let's have Ivan Manyara, member number 242. Member number 242. Ivan Manyara, are you able to unmute and just say that? Yeah. As Evans is doing that, any other person to second that? I think we only have Ivan Manyara. Let's have somebody else. All right. We have Samuel Kihogi, Samuel Jogu. I can't see a member now clearly, but I think as you speak, you can mention your membership number, Samuel.
My name is Samuel Kihogi Jogu, membership number 103-4255. I second.
Very well. Thank you. Thank you, Samuel. Thank you, Samuel. So I think that is proposed by Ivan Manyara, seconded by Samuel Kihogi, although I think we have not heard from Manyara. All right. So I also want to give like a minute or so in case there is any response from the supervisory report. Any question? Any question on the supervisory report? All right. Okay. So I think the supervisory report also starts to be adopted, and I think we can adopt the report of the CEO. So we now go to the report of the Chief Executive Officer. So we want somebody to propose and somebody to second so that it is formally adopted. And then from there, we go straight into the financial report. So let's have two delegates proposing and seconding the CEO's report. Yeah, we have Solomon Joroge, member number 94. Solomon, if you can go on, Solomon Joroge.
I want to propose the adoption of the CEO's report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Solomon. Thank you. Thank you. Then we have Ann Kenano. Ann Kenano, please also seconding this. So Ann, please go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I second the proceedings of the CEO.
Okay, thank you very much, Anne. We cannot hear you loud and clear. Thank you very much. And that is taken. So the CEO's report is formally adopted, and we thank you for that. Yeah, so we want to move now to the report of the treasurer. So we want to have the financial report. So we move on now to our treasurer, Rose, to take us through from here.
Thank you, Chair. The patron, board of directors, staff, and supervisory, delegates, and distinguished guests, all protocols observed. Good morning. This is the treasurer's report. And I just want us to begin by just having a look at the macro environment that Sacco was operating in the year 2021. I think we can attest that God has been good to us. We have had a very nice time, even as a country. We have been able to move out, using the word to move out of COVID, the COVID construction that was there in 2020. So as per the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, the Kenyan economy grew by 5%. That is among the fastest growing economies in Africa. And by the second half of 2021, we grew by 10%. That is a year-on-year comparison with 2020. And the major sectors that were the drivers for this is the manufacturing sector that grew by around 9.5%. We also had the education sector, which grew quite fast because remember in 2020, a lot of schools were closed. That one grew by 64.7%. We had the transport sector that grew by 13% and the hospitality sector that grew, that is the one for accommodation and eateries, that grew by almost 25%. And the financial institutions grew by 6.7%. The decliners in the sectors that had registered decliners were agriculture sector and the medical. With the agriculture sector, you understand, because the exports also were curtailed. Quite a number of the exports were not facilitated because the European countries were locked. And also there is the medical, there's that decline in going for medical in the medical sector. That is in the year 2021, because we had a boom in that sector in the year 2020. When talking about inflation, inflation is just the general trend in terms of costs of the key factors of that drive an economy. In 2021 was within the normal range of what the Kenya economists consider normal. That is the range is 2.5% to 7.5%. And the highest inflation was registered in September 2021 at 6.9%. But this year looks good. Like in the year January 2020, inflation was at 5.4%, which was the lowest since August 2020. So things are looking up, other than probably the interference of the Russian and Ukrainian war, which may affect inflation. But the projected for the year 2020 inflation is 5.5. So that's the environment that we hope to operate in. And we're hoping that inflation will not be a big interference on that. But now to go to the our performance as a Sacco, that is in the year 2021. I know you all have the booklets. I would take you to page 26. That's where we have the statement of comprehensive income. Statement of comprehensive income. That's on page 26 of the booklet. And if you're scrolling for delegates, if you're scrolling, that would probably be your page 27, because it picks also the first page. So when there is an interest on loans and advances, which in the year 2021 was 378,363. That was the interest on loans that we registered in the year 2021. And in the year 2020, we had 161 million. So you can see that registered growth. We had also interest on income. That is the one that we invest. We had a growth, a registered income of 22.8 million against 13.9 in the previous year. And so the overall growth in interest income was at 19% growth. So that wasn't so bad. And then after that, there is the interest expense of 61 million. This is now the interest that we pay out to the members. That gives us a net interest income of 147.9 million against 129.6 million in the year 2020. So the total revenues reported for the year 2021 is 213 million. I'm sure if you compare these figures that I'm giving you as total interest against what the CEO has given, the figure she captured in the CEO's report, the figure she captured is a comprehensive income, that is both the interest income and other income. That gives an income of 213 million in the year 2021 against a gross income of 179.5 million in the year 2020. So you'll see that is quite a good growth. We have administrative expenses, which you will see has not grown. And the major contributors to administrative expenses would be the staff costs. That is what we have categorized there. That is the staff, all the staff expenses, salaries, and the like. Office operation expenses, and that also includes the facilities, the branches where we rent and all that. That is what is captured under the administrative expenses. Then we have the other operating expenses. That is in this financial year, in the last financial year, it registered at 51.8% against 40.6% in the last financial year. So what was the driver of that jump? I would want to take us, it references there to note number 10. I would want to take us to page 36. Page 36, for those who like understanding figures, please allow them, I take them through page 36. This is under note 10, explaining the jump of why we have from 40 million to 51 million. You see there are the governance expenses. Governance expenses was from 3.7 and the increment was 4.2 to 4.7 million in the year 2021. And the greatest driver of that was that there was increased member training in the year 2021 as compared to 2020. Then they have the market expenses there, marketing and business development expenses. Then we have, you'll see a great jump here in impairment of loss charges. Impairment of loss charges isn't actually an expense paid out. This is a provision because of our statutory requirement that we put aside because of the loans that we give out. So in the year 2020, the provision we had put was 28.3 million. And because of our increased performance and increased lending out, we increased the provisioning to by 33.7 million. So we increased the provisioning by that increment. So that is what led to that steep increment in what you would call the operational expenses. The other one is depreciation. Depreciation also isn't money spent out. It is also a provisioning. You will see there was that jump from 5.1 million in the year 2020 to 8.1 million in the year 2021. And it's also because of the increase in assets. Remember now we have buildings which like the head office sits. So that's where now there was that need for provisioning. So this is money sent aside, not necessarily that it is money spent out. So that explains that jump by around 11 million. So it's like increased provisioning, not necessarily an increase in expenditure. So you will notice that now the surplus of 46, we now register a surplus in the year 2021 of 46,161,816 shillings, which is a 22% increment from the last year's figure of 37,817,333. So that's a clap to all our members. You're the one who helped us in all this. You are the contributors of this. And of course, we shall hear how much of that the chairman proposes to distribute. The next, that is the statement of financial position. We have the assets there. We have the first asset, there is cash balances, the balances with the banks, and the short-term investments. That is the cash that we have at hand and invested. In the year 2021, we're talking about 300, a total, the gross of that comes to 341 million against the last year of 201 million. So that's a growth in that asset base. The other one is loans and advances to members. This is last year, we had 1.17 billion. And this financial, for the last financial year, we're talking about 1.146 billion. Just let's go to our page 38 so that we explain the decline or the increase in that figure. Page 34. Sorry, page 38. Pardon me. Page 38. You can see that heading there. I'm waiting for those who are scrolling. Sometimes the internet hangs. Page 38. We have the offerings there of the various products. And you'll see the total loan portfolio in the year 2020 was at 1.246 billion against 1.247 billion in the year 2021. But there's a figure there written provision for bad debts. This is an accounting provision. So it's not that people did not pay. People did pay and continue to pay, but it's accounting procedure. That's why you remember the 33 million that we saw in that provisioning. That is what has lifted this figure to now 100 million. So we are providing for that asset called loans, which is our biggest asset. And now just in the event there is a delay in the payment, just in the event that there is a failure to repay for one reason or another, there is a financial or a statutory requirement to have that provision. So that's why we have that increased provision, which ends up reducing that asset base from 1.179 to 1.146. So that's what looks like there is a decline, but it is because of that. It's the net figure because of that, which looks like there was a reduction in the asset base of loans, but it actually was a horizontal growth, but there was an increase in provision. So if we go back to our statement of financial position, that is on page 26. We would go back now to where we were reading, or what would be called the balance sheet. This is a statement of the assets and liabilities of the institution. So after that figure of the loans, the other figure that changes is the property and the equipment. That's just a matter of reclassification. We needed to reclassify some of the equipments there. And also, it also reduced because of the provisioning. When you increase provisioning, the net figure changes, but it's not that you dispose. There was some disposal, which was captured. You're going to read through the PPE, but it wasn't of that magnitude. So the figure there is because of the increased provisioning. So the summary is that our asset base actually grew by 6%. And I think that is a 1 percentage point higher than how the economy grew. So we are riding above the wave of the economic growth. And I think that that's a great contribution to the members. And members in financial terms, that means that the institution is stable and we will continue to serve you. And as you have seen, we have a large pool of money. We have, I want to take you to our statistical statistics, just to give you a view, a dashboard view of the performance. So let me take you to page 20. Let me take you to page 20, delegates. Maybe you'd scroll that to your page 21. I won't go through all these figures, but I wanted to highlight to you about our liquidity. If you look along that line, you're going to see something called liquidity ratio. In the year 2021, our liquidity ratio was at 30% compared to 19% in 2020 and 28% in 2019. That shows we have cash available for you to borrow. So we invite you all to come and borrow. As you have heard both the CEO and the chairman mention about the housing project. So for you who have properties or those who don't also purchase properties, we have the funds available, and the housing product has been approved. So the funds are available. So we welcome you to come and patronize these products and increase that, which would also help us increase our asset base. And also, we also hope that with your increased savings, we will be able to have our members non-withdrawable deposit move from 958 million, and back to the balance sheet, 958 million to probably 1 billion. At least I know, as per the figures given to me by George Macharia, he's the financial manager. He's a finance manager in Sacco. We shall hit 1 billion mark by of non-withdrawable deposits by the end of Q1. So that is the kind of level of trust that you have given to us. And we really appreciate, and we take that responsibility very seriously of the trust that you have given to us. So I want to put, just rest my figures there. You have the booklet and you can go through these figures at your own time. We are accessible. You can just write up an email in case you have any query. And if there's any delegate who would have a question through the chair, we shall be able to have that process. Now, I want to invite the auditors, Bwana Ronald, to come and give his view of our books. He was the present auditor for the year 2021, 2020, and 2019. Karibu.
So, all the guests, the board of directors, and the members, the delegates. Good morning, everyone. My name is Moses Njage, and I'm here representing Ronald's LLP. And I'm going to take you through the auditor's report. And that is on page 23. Where we are going to give an opinion, and as our mandate is to give an independent opinion from the financials that we have had from the treasurer. So our opinion is that we have audited the accompanying financial statements of Kingdom Sacco Society Limited, set out on page 26 to 23, which comprise of the statement of financial position as of 31st December 2021, statement of comprehensive income, statement of changes in equity, and statement of cash flow for the period then ended, and a summary of significant accounting policies and other explanatory notes. And in our opinion, the financial statements give a true and fair view of the state of society's financial affairs as of 31st December 2021. The results of its operation and the cash flows for the period then ended are in accordance with the International Financial Reporting Standards and the requirements of the Kenyan Sacco Societies Act. And the basis of our opinion, and we have audited these financials in accordance with the international standards of on auditing, and our responsibility under those standards are further described in the auditor's responsibility for the audit of the financial statements section of our report. The next item is on the key audit matters. This is in accordance with the ISA 701, where we are supposed to report any matters that are of most significance during the audit. And our key audit matter, this was on the impairment of loans. You've heard that the loans are increasing on a yearly basis, and we therefore need to provide for the loans. In terms of provisioning, the Sacco is using the SASRA default model, and we recommend that the Sacco to adopt a credit loss model in accordance with the IFRS 9. And we are saying that impairment of loans to members are determined under the application of IFRS 9, that is the financial instruments. And this was considered a key audit matter because of the significant judgments that was involved in determining the impairment losses on loans, since the society is yet to adopt this model. So we are saying that the SASRA model is just a default. We need to incorporate the IFRS 9 model, which is the expected credit loss, so that we can incorporate other factors, such as the guarantors. In case you have collaterals, we need to incorporate all those factors. And therefore, how we address this audit matter is that we assess the inherent default risk in the various loan products and other financial instruments. We also evaluated other alternative measures taken by the management to mitigate accounting and disclosure of any future losses. We also obtained a representation from the management that non-adoption of the IFRS 9 does not significantly impair the financial reports. And also, there was a commitment by the management to adopt the IFRS 9 credit loss model in the subsequent periods. So the next one is on the auditor's responsibility, which is on page 24, where our responsibility is to express an independent opinion on these financial statements based on our audit. We conducted our audits in accordance with the international standards on auditing, and those standards requires that we comply with the ethical requirements and plan and perform the audits to obtain reasonable assurance whether the financial statements are free from material misstatements. In an audit involves performing procedures to obtain audit evidence about the amounts and disclosures in the financial statements, and the procedure selected depending on the auditor's judgment, including assessing the risks of material misstatement of the financial statements, whether due to fraud or error. In making those risk assessments, the auditor considers the internal controls relevant to the society's preparation and fair presentation of the financial statements in order to design audit procedures that are appropriate in the circumstances, but not for the purpose of expressing an opinion on the effectiveness of the society's internal controls. I'm not going to read through the whole statement. So the next item is on the report of other legal requirements. And as required by the Saccos Act, we report to you that the financial statements are in agreement with the books of accounts kept by the society, and that the society, and based on our audit, nothing has come to our attention that causes us not to believe the society's business has not been conducted. Number one, in accordance with the provisions of the Kenyan Cooperative Societies Act, and in accordance with the Cooperative Societies objectives, the bylaws, and any other resolutions made during the general meeting. And the accounts were signed on 11th February 2022 by CPA Noah O. Dakala, practicing number 2039. So that is the end of our report. And once more, it's to thank you for the period that we have had. And this was our third year. So we are not going to audit for the fourth year. So once again, we thank you and appreciate. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Bwana Auditor. We really appreciate the presentation of the audit opinion and the audit report. So the treasurer has presented the financial report, and the auditor presented the audit opinion, which confirms that the financials are a fair presentation of the books of Kingdom Sacco. So we want to receive this report and adopt it by having somebody to propose and somebody to second it, so that we can formally adopt the financial report. As the auditor has said, the audit report and the financial statements were signed by the auditor on 11th of February, and they were submitted to the regulatory authority. SASRA has to approve the financial statements before they are presented to the delegates, and they were presented, they were reviewed, and they were approved by SASRA on the 18th of February. On the 18th of February, So fully approved by SASRA, the auditors, and of course, the board of Kingdom Sacco. So we want to have somebody to propose and second, and then we can have any discussions or any clarifications with regard to the financial report. Yeah, so let's have somebody to propose and somebody to second the financial report. You can make this visible. All right, let's have some delegates raising their hand to do this. Let's have some delegates come on and raise their hands to propose and second the financial report. And I hope our sound system is good. All our delegates can hear us very well. Yes, let's have Eunice Kamoche, member number 7633. 7633.
Okay, hi everyone.
Hello.
Yes, member number 7633. I wish to adopt the financial report.
Very well, Eunice. Thank you for that. Then we have, let's have Nancy Kamoto, seconding that. Nancy Kamoto. Can we hear Nancy Kamoto? Or are you able to unmute and speak?
Hello. Yeah, I have seconded it.
All right.
Yeah.
Good to hear Nancy.
Yeah. I have seconded it.
All right. Yeah, looks like she's talking, and we also needed to see the member number. Nancy Kamoto, maybe we didn't hear you. Probably, maybe your internet is slow. All right. Okay, could we have Freshia Wajiko Nyambura? Let's have Freshia Wajiko Nyambura.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, good morning, Freshia.
Good morning. Good morning to you. I second the report.
Member number, Freshia, give us your membership number.
181-51-54.
181-54. Freshia Nyambura, Wajiko Nyambura. Thank you very much, Freshia. Thank you. She has endorsed the report. So, all right. So we would like to have delegates, if you have any question to our treasurer or to our auditor, with regard to the financial report, this is the opportunity. If you have a question that you'd like to present on the financial report, something maybe you didn't understand or something you needed to know, we are here to clarify to you. By lifting up the hand, we can hear. Very well. Boaz Otieno Mwoga, please, the floor is yours. You can unmute and then you can ask your question.
Hi. I hope you can hear me. You can hear me, Meshach, Mr. Chairman? You can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. I was just checking the numbers, and I noted the share capital number was the same for 2019, 2020, and 2021. I was just asking for clarity. I thought maybe members are increasing, so the numbers will reflect on the share capital as well.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Boaz. I think your question is, we got your question on the share capital. Yeah. Any more questions so that we can handle it together? Right. I want to allow the treasurer to take that question from Boaz. Yeah.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, and thank you, Delegate and Member Boaz. It is true what you have noted is the correct position. The share capital has not increased from the year 2019. We decided to cap it at that point of 2019. This was after consultation with the regulator, that is SASRA, where now we decided to just let the shares that had already been issued to be what is traded by the members amongst themselves. So when we capped it at 136 million, at 136 million, if a member exits and they want to also sell their share capital, they sell it to an existing member or to a new member. And that way we continue, the shares haven't had a shortage, and anyone who wants to buy shares, the shares are still available. So there isn't, it isn't a reflection that there aren't number increment, but it is that we capped issuing new shares. And that was after consultation with the regulator, SASRA. So it's not I don't think it's a reason for alarm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very well, yes. Thank you, Treasurer, for that answer. I think it's quite clear that if there has been any person who is releasing their shares, they are taken up by the person who is coming in. So the people who are coming in, they take up shares from the already existing members. And I think it was for a reason we first of all capped it at that. So I think that is quite satisfactory. Yeah, so thank you very much, and I hope I hope there is no. I don't know whether there is any other question on that. If not, then we move to the next report. But I hope that you are following the report from our treasurer. A lot of numbers, but I think very well, and very. I could see people are attentive. That's why we're able to have some questions, and we are good. So I think we go to the next agenda, which is the budget, so that we can pass the budget for 2022. Over to you again, Rose.
Thank you, Chair. Before I go to the budget, there was another question online. I think they had typed their question. And the issue was about the costs of the deposits that they make in Sacco. When they deposit through the pay bill, they are charged some costs by Safaricom, as opposed to if they were to deposit in banks. And I just want to tell the member number, sorry, I was not able to capture the member number. I just want to tell the member that we have been pursuing SASRA on that. What happened is that the Kenya Banks Association were able to lobby and give the banks that benefit through Safaricom. But the Sacco fraternity through our regulator SASRA have been lobbying, and I think they haven't been able to get to that milestone where they're able to give the members, where we are able now to give the members that benefit. So we are still pursuing, we have not yet pursued, we have not yet given up, and we are hoping that they shall be able to push further and ensure that we get that benefit too as a Sacco fraternity, because it is all the Saccos which end up suffering that. So we are disadvantaged in that regard when we go through the banks. But I want to also inform the members that we have various banking channels as Kingdom Sacco. So you could also your deposits through the various banks that we have. You can use the pay bills through Equity, through CoBank and Family Bank, where you're able to deposit and we're able to now get it, we're able now to get that money. So I hope that is addressed, but it will further be addressed by the business development team. All those questions that you have written, we have talked with the business development team and they shall be addressed by a newsletter, and we shall send back those responses to you comprehensively. Even as we engage you for the members, for the members meetings, which we invite you and ask you to continue to participate and attend. And please, as the chairman said, we are ready to be engaged, and whichever answers, whichever questions that you feel, we should be able to engage, and also that will inform how we continue changing our products. So thank you, members. And all that was to engage you. For those people who don't like seeing numbers, we have this this yellow paper. Okay, this is for the delegates who are here. There are some members who are here, but it's a separate item from the booklet. It's called proposed budget. That's what I want to go through. I want to go through that. So we have the proposed budget. We have the budget that was, I want to start with the income statement budget. We have that column has the budget as it was in 2021. Then there's the budget as we have here in the 2022, and there is the projected for 2023. Now we didn't put the column for actual 2021 because it is in the booklet. We found no reason to do that duplication. So you will compare what we budgeted against what we actually realized. Just to mention to you that we were not able to meet our budget, and we have engaged the management team that going forward, we should also try to achieve that. But we understood what the explanations on why they were not able to meet the budget, because sometimes the projections are not always as they are. So going to the projections for the year 2022, interest income on loans, we are projecting to have an income of 251.3 million. That is a projected growth of 35% from what we achieved in the year 2021. Then we have the income on liquid investment. There is also that growth. And also we are expecting a growth in the interest expense. That is what we distribute out to the members from the from 58 million in the year 2021 to 68 million projected distribution in the year 2022. There are the other expenses there of withdrawable accounts, of interest expense on withdrawable accounts, then other operating incomes and other incomes, to bring a projected in total income of 218,997,339 shillings, which would be a 48% projected growth from what we achieved in the year 2021. So you will also relate with me that that is quite ambitious. but that budget is drawn on a projected loan disbursements of 1 billion worth of loans. So members, delegates, we invite you to inform the other members that we are projected to lend out 1 billion loans. So loans are in plenty. Please come and borrow from us and improve your businesses. As you have heard, there is a projected expected economic growth in the year 2022. So you don't be scared about investing. There is a projected interest, there is a projected income on loans interest for the year 2023 of 313 million. But again, that will be revised based on how we achieve our 2022. And the projected total income for the year 2023 is 271,223,570. That is the projected now going into the year 2023. These two are, after that is the projected expenses. The expenses go hand in hand in line with the initiatives that we expect, and also together with the projected incomes. So we have the projected expenses there of 38 million in the year 2022 and 46.5 million in the year 2023. Depreciation expense is at 10.5 million in the year 2022 and 8.3 in the year 2023. We expect staff salary costs to grow also. So we have put it at 26.5 there and 33.2 in the year 2023. And also there's a loan provisioning costs. You had the external auditor had mentioned about our provisioning. He had put that as his key audit matter, which we took note, but as you had he mentioned, which we have done together with SASRA, they are in agreement, and that is a directive they give to SACCOs, even as much as for financial standards reporting, they would want IFRS 9. So we are aware of that, and we have engaged both SASRA, and we're moving towards that in consultation with them on that matter. But in the year 2021, we made a provision of 33 million. This is against the loans. In the year 2022, we intend to increase that provisioning by 47.2 million. So even as we expect our portfolio to grow, we shall make that provision in income, just in case we have delayed repayments or hitches in our collection. And that provision is also expected to grow by 59 million in the year 2023. So overall, we have a very ambitious budget for the year 2022. We are projecting to do a leap from the 46 million that I read in the year 2021 to 72.7 million in the year 2022. That is an ambitious growth of 56.5%. With your participation, I'm sure this is achievable, and probably you could even surpass it. And now that would also project our growth to 94.5 in the year 2023, or even to 100 million in the year 2023. I would want to be there to read a net profit of 100 million Kingdom Sacco in the next 2 years, right? All right, let's go to the CapEx budget. There is the budget there as at 2021, and the projected CapEx budget as at 2021 was at 5.4 million. But as I have said before, even as much as we asked for your authority to spend, we are very prudent in expenditure, and sometimes even with the authority we do not spend. For example, in the year 2021, our expenditure was below 1 million. We spent 838 million in our capital expenditure because a lot of this needed to be refined, and we found that probably the expenditure now would be deferred to the year 2022. And so you'll find sometimes there's a horizontal move in what was requested the last time, because we did not spend. So our actual expenditure for CapEx in the year 2021 was 838 million, even as we had sought and got the approval from yourselves of 504 million. So our CapEx for the year 2022 is at 380,000 for an office equipment. We want to expand our safe custody and collateral, as said, in line with our borrowing, expected borrowing of 1 billion. We want you to bring all the collaterals and also that we have a place to put them. We also have 1.5 million, that is a registry upgrade. We want to work towards relocation of our registry. As the membership grows, we need to realize that we can't host everything here at head office. We may need to relocate some bit of it. So we are that 1.5 is towards that end, and a similar budget to that budget line in the year 2023 of 500,000. Under ICT and computer hardware, there is a security installation of 1.55 million. This is CCTVs. We want to enhance CCTVs in even the branches, that is Naivasha, Mombasa, and Nakuru, and also head office, and also the software enhancement for our banking software. So that would be that in the year 2022, and a similar, almost similar amount in the year 2023 of 1.2 million. We want to upgrade our mobile banking application. We take note of some of the hitches that you experience, and that informs our investments in some areas. So we're talking about a mobile banking application upgrade of 1.5 million expense in the year 2022, and probably another of 500,000 in the year 2023. So for this mobile banking application, we are sourcing for vendors who would work towards that. And in the year, and also we have new banking modules and software. Probably just to upgrade it, that it's able to also dock with this mobile banking application, or just enhancement and improvements. So we have made that provision of 500,000 in the year 2022, and a similar amount in the year 2023. We have branches, internal renovations. There is an amount of 250,000. This we want to spend in our Mombasa branch. We want to do some internal partitioning, maybe have some boardroom, and also to have some signage. For those of you who have gone to Mombasa office, we're working towards having a signage there on the bottom of the street. That's in Nkrumah Road. We haven't a signage. The signage is inside the building. So we want that you're also able to direct your friends and tell them, just go to Nkrumah Road around TSS building, get that signage and climb up. So maybe we realized there was that problem, so we are working towards that. So there's that signage and that internal partitioning of that office. So the total CapEx expense projected for the year 2022 is 5,680,000, and a reduced one in the year 2023 of 2,750,000. So that is what we are presenting, that you may approve for expenditure after consultation with both the management team and the wider board, of course, with the input of the membership and the valued delegates. Thank you. Back to you, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you for the clarity on the budget and the presentation. I think it's quite clear. Yeah, so we can have somebody to propose and somebody to second, so that we can discuss it. So that in case there are a few questions specifically on the budget, we can answer them. Whether they are, yeah. So let's have somebody to propose and somebody to second the same. Yeah, so we have Boaz Otieno. Boaz, you can come. You can propose. You can unmute yourself and just say something.
Boaz Otieno Moga, member 001005332. I propose the budget.
Okay, thank you very much, Boaz. I can see Eva Joine. Go ahead and yeah, go ahead, Eva.
I do propose Ivan Jawini, member number 0010-33-725.
All right. Thank you, Eva. Thank you, Eva and Boaz for that. So so the budget is adopted. We can have some questions, some areas of clarity. You can either ask or also the team check whether there is a question that has been on the chart that is specific to the budget, so that we can answer the questions. Yeah, and as we heard from our treasurer, we know the economy is opening up, God willing, and we're saying we are ready to support our members. We have very ambitious targets for lending to our members to support their businesses, to support their housing, to support the initiatives that they want to do. We are ready for that. So we have Kevin Koimbori. You can see a hand by Kevin Koimbori. I can't see the member number. Kevin Koimbori, member 5766.
Thank you, Chair. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, Kevin, we can hear you well.
Okay, mine is a comment and an observation. Maybe I would like to put it across to the treasurer and the team. On the presentation of the budget, I think it would be good to show the actuals so that we can compare, first of all, the actual performance of the institution against the budget, so that we're able to see where exactly targets were not met or are not met, and maybe there could be reasons for that. And now out of the actuals, I think that is now the basis of forecasting for the next financial years or the next 2 years. And I would also maybe request there should be a commentary just to see why there's an increment in maybe some of the line items. As much as it will be explained, it would be good, since this information is usually shared beforehand, it would be best to have that commentary in place so that members can engage more on that, so that even as we propose or we second, we understand completely why there's an increment in the next financial years. As much as the strategic focus has been mentioned, I think that should come out clearly also in the budget explanatory items. Thank you.
Very well, Kevin. Thank you very much, Kevin, for that comments. Before we get to them, we have Anne. Anne, please go ahead and ask your question. Anne Kenanu Muriungi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chair. I'm speaking from Rift Valley, Eldoret. My question goes to, I heard the treasurer mention that you are going to do some uplift and expansion of the offices, the current existing offices, one in Naivasha and Nakuru and Mombasa. My observation is that due to cutting costs, because in this era, if you don't cut costs, you can't realize profits. We close most of the offices in various places so that we can cut cost and go digital. I will appreciate that. But my point is that Nakuru and Naivasha is so near. As we do, there are upgrading of other offices in Nairobi. Nakuru and Naivasha is so close. Can't you close one and leave maybe Nakuru to serve the area instead of having Naivasha and Nakuru? I hope I had that right, that there's Naivasha and Nakuru office, so that as we go digital, we also cut costs so that the members can get a return for their money in terms of dividends. Thank you.
Yes, Anne, we heard you very well. I think the question is very clear. Yeah, thank you very much. We got you right. Yeah. So I think we have those two. I don't know whether in the chat there is any question that relates to the budget. All right. So I think we want to. I think the first we can have the two questions. The treasurer can take the question on the issue of the branches, and then we will comment on the first issue that Kevin brought about. So, Rose.
Thank you. Yeah. And thank you, delegates. Yes, Kevin, your concern is noted, and we shall work towards having that additional column. So we shall increase in the next financial budget presentation. We shall take note to include the actual alongside here, even as I mentioned that it is in the booklet. So we shall put it here alongside the budget, and probably first explain why the comments on why it was not met before we go into the next. And then probably when we're writing for 2022, as you suggested, we give the actually typed explanation on the making of the budget. Because what I did was take you verbally through the logic behind the budget projection. So what we can work towards is having some short notes. So that is noted. That is noted, and we shall work towards enhancing this presentation. So thanks for that feedback. We have Anne. Anne, I wish everyone was like you, who was ready to go digital. And yes, that would be the plan. We would want to go digital. We once had an office in Eldoret, which we closed because in our view, we felt that the Eldoret people went digital and we were able to serve them. So we serve them quite well, even though we don't have a physical office. And we shall sit as a team together with your input, of course, engage the stakeholders. Those would be the members in Nakuru and Naivasha, so that we work towards the logistics of closing that. And I know, just like everyone else, we want better returns for investment and not spend it out on rent. So that is noted, and it is something that shall be discussed by both the management team and the board members. So thank you, Anne, for that. Samuel, I take note of your comment you've typed your comment, and the question is, why is the budget figure for the year security installation for the year 2021 the same as that for 2022? The projection for the year 2021 was 1.55 million, and the one for 2022 is 1.55 million still. What I'd mentioned is that even as much as we had got the authorization to spend this amount of money in the year 2021, we actually did not spend, because sometimes before you make some expenditure, let's say like security installation, both for software and hardware, we have to get vendors, and also again a lot of internal consultation and the logistics of working that out. So that was not done in the year 2021. Actually, you will see that our total expenditure for the year 2021 was only 838 million. And that's why we pushed it to the year 2022. So we're hoping that shall be done in the year 2022 for the security installation. So that money was not spent in the year 2021. So Samuel, I hope that clarifies. We have put plans in place to have that spent in the year 2022. So this budget proposal, not actual expenditure. Thanks. Back to you, Chair.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for those questions. And I think our treasurer has answered them very well. But just to reiterate her comment is that I think we have captured that issue of a bit more clarity on the presentation of the budget so that you are able to see where we are coming from and where we are going, and some rationale about what informs the growth or what informs the projections. Some bit of summary on how that is going. I think that is a very clear point of improvement, which I think we have captured. Going forward, I think that will be dealt with. And also the issue of just ensuring that as we deal with our branches, we are conscious about cost management to optimize on the returns that need to be there. So I think that is okay. We've just dealt with the questions that are particular to the budget. So I believe then we have finished the budget, and I on the chart, I hope there is no question we have left that is touching on the budget. All right, very good. So I think because of that, we can then go to the next item on our agenda, which is passing resolutions that we have. We have a few resolutions. So I think we'll just go right there. We have about 4 of them. I will take this so that we can get ahead with the resolutions. I think the first one is we want to retain is board indemnity. The board recommends the retention of the indemnity cover for each member of the board, Kenya shillings 150,000. And the board indemnity is basically a requirement from the ministry that we have to indemnify the Sacco in case of loss for various issues individually, up to the limit of 150,000 individually. So this is how it was last year. So the figure has not changed. So we're just keeping that indemnity to 150,000. So we want to ask for a proposer and a seconder so that we can deal with it. Board indemnity. Yeah, let's have somebody to propose and to second so that we can get that. So we have Samuel Kihogi Jogu, member number 4256. Samuel Kihogi Jogu. Yes, go ahead.
So my name is Samuel Kihogi Jogu, member number 103 4255. I propose that we retain the indemnity at 150,000.
Very well. Thank you. Thank you, Samuel. Appreciated. Then we have Peter Kamau Karanja to second. Peter Kamau Karanja, can see your hand is up.
Yes, I also propose the maintenance of that indemnity, 150,000. My name is Peter Kamau Karanja, member number 661. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Peter Karanja. Appreciated. So we go to the second resolution. It has to do with the borrowing powers, and this is about if Kingdom Sacco has to borrow money for purposes of our operations or on lending to our members. It is always something that has to receive approval from the delegates on behalf of our members. So the board recommends approval of a resolution providing that external borrowing by Kingdom Sacco shall not exceed 25% of the society's total assets unless the limit has been waived by the Sacco Society's regulatory authority. The limit is and shall remain consistent with the provision of Sacco Society's regulation on external borrowing for deposit-taking SACCOs. So what that means is that first we have to be within the requirements of the regulation in terms of external borrowing, but we are asking the delegates to approve that we can borrow up to 25% of our total assets if the need arises for borrowing for purposes of on lending or for other purposes that we have within Kingdom Sacco. And the status of this is that as of now, we don't have any borrowing. We have not borrowed so far, but in case the need arises, we don't have to come back to the delegates. We have a resolution that allows us to do that. But of course, we will do it within proper considerations and proper financial management principles. So yes, this is the resolution. We can have somebody to propose and somebody to second the resolution. So let's have somebody, let's have Boniface Jogona, member number 2943. Boniface Jogona.
Boniface Jogona, 2940.
Right, thank you, Boniface. Thank you, Boniface, for that. Then we have Francis Mosagwa.
I propose the resolution.
All right, sorry, there was a bit of delay. Boniface, yes, we have had you. Okay. Yeah, Boniface, thank you. Thank you, Boniface.
Boniface Jogona, 2940. Boniface Jogona.
All right. Yes, Boniface, thank you very much. We have had you. Delay. Yeah, there was a bit of a delay, but I think we have had Boniface. I think Boniface is clear. We have had you, although there was a bit of time lag between his talking and our hearing him. But Boniface, yes, we have received. Then we had Francis Mwasagwa. Francis Mwasagwa, please go ahead.
Yes, Francis Sagwa, member number 6979. I second the resolution.
Thank you, Francis. Member number 6979. We have heard you, Francis, and thank you for the approval for seconding this issue of borrowing power. So the issue of the borrowing powers we have completed, and we will pick it up from there. That resolution is about payment of interest on deposits, dividends, and honoraria. And the board recommends payment of interest on deposits of Kenya shillings 58,586,616 and dividends of Kenya shillings 11,030,540 and honoraria of Kenya shillings 1,375,575. And just to clarify on the interest, we talked about 58.5 million. On the dividends, we talked about 11 million. And just for clarity, the interest on deposits would be paid at the rate of 6.5%. That is up from last year. We did 5. Of course, with the issues of COVID and all that. This year we have increased it to 6.5%, and the dividends of from 8% to 8.5%. So an increase of 500 basis points from 8% to 8.5. So interest on deposits 6.5% and dividends of 8.5%. So basically, this is what we want your approval, interest on deposits, dividends, and honoraria of 1.3. So we can have somebody proposing and somebody to second that. Any proposers and somebody to second? We be delayed then. Yeah, let's have somebody to propose and somebody to second that. So we have Joseph Maina Mwangi. Joseph Maina Mwangi, member number 131. Please go ahead.
I propose. Joseph Maina, member number 131. I propose.
Thank you. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Joseph. We have Ann Kenanu.
I second the proposal. Ann Kenanu, member number 23455.
All right. Thank you, Ann. Thank you, Ann. Thank you, Ann, for that. That is a payment of interest on deposits and dividends, and I'm sure that the CEO will let us know the date when that is being paid, as we usually do. We inform you as soon as possible, which is coming probably in the coming week. So thank you very much. On the last resolution is about change of auditors. I think you heard the auditor say he has completed the audit firm, Ronald's LLP, have completed their 3-year term. And as per the regulation, then we need to pick another auditor, so that once an auditor completes 3 years, there has to be a break and change the auditor. And some times back, the ADM authorized the board to, when we have such a time when auditors need to change, we are able to source the various auditors and vet them, and then we bring a proposal to the ADM just for approval of the auditors. So we did that as a board, and we invited the various audit firms for purposes of auditing the Sacco going forward. And we ended up with a number of three audit firms, that is Henry, Smith, and Wilson. Henry, Smith, and Wilson have audited various Saccos. They have a lot of exposure in the Sacco sector. They have audited Kimisitu, Kitui Teachers, Ukulima, Jamii Sacco, Tembo, Wamini Sacco, and a number of other Saccos. They have 5 partners and 24 audit support staff. We also have MFK and Company, Francis, and they have 2 partners, but they do not have a lot of exposure in the Sacco sector. But we also had Mazars Limited, Mazal as an audit firm. They also have vast exposure in Saccos. They have audited Ushuru Sacco, Telposta Sacco, Solution Sacco, United Women Sacco, NSSF Sacco, Dimkes Sacco, Ken Pipe Sacco, and other Saccos, just to mention a few. And they have about 6 partners. So from the various technical and financial evaluations that we did, on the auditors, the board made a recommendation and is hereby recommending to the delegates for the appointment of Henry Smith and Wilson. So on the basis of technical capacity, track record, approach to audit, and previous experience, the committee recommends appointment of Henry Smith and Wilson to provide external audit services to the society for the financial year 2020, for the financial years 2022 going forward. So we therefore present to you Henry Smith and Wilson as auditors, as to be approved by the delegates as the auditors for the year 2022 and going ahead. So to receive a proposer and a seconder for that, so that we can agree on that. Yeah, this is our final resolution. Yes, let's have Jane Mwangi, to propose.
Yeah, I propose the company to undertake the work. Member number 106.
Okay, thank you, Jane. Thank you, Jane, for that. Member number 106. Let's have Anwa Maida Mwangi to second that. Anwa Maida Mwangi.
Hello.
Hello, Anne. Hello.
I second. Anne Wamaida, member number 913. I second. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne. Anne Wamaida, member number 913. We have heard you very well. Thank you very much. And I think that is clear. So we have completed the 4 resolutions that we needed to pass during today's delegate meeting. And we want to go to the next item on our agenda, which is just a summary. We'll be presented with a summary of the minutes of the ADM that we had last time. So summary of the previous ADM minutes for confirmation of the minutes. And yeah, so we want to ask our secretary, Magdalene, to take us through the previous ADM's minutes for our confirmation.
Good afternoon, delegates, members, and everyone present here. It's good to see all of us here. And I'll just take us through the minutes that were taken during the last annual delegates meeting. I believe I'm clear. Thank you. All right, we have this on page 16, as you can follow them. I think the minutes were taken well and comprehensively taken. So I will not be reading as has been the practice of this meeting today. I'll just give highlights as we continue, just in the interest of time. So the minutes of the annual delegates meeting, which was held on 13th of March in the same venue, which is Empower House in Githurai, Nairobi. So we have the list of the members, board members who are present, and then followed by the supervisory committee members. And also in attendance, we had guests. We had Joseph Njoroge, the patron. I recognize Agatha Kihoro, nominating committee. The members are there. And then the Kingdom Sacco staff, the invited guests, which who are a number. And then we had online delegates. In this case, there were 62 delegates. Then we have the agenda of the meeting of the day's proceedings, which had 10 items. We had a preliminary given by the chairman who started the meeting at around 9:40, and he laid out the ground rules for engagement of the members, just as he did today, in terms of names and member number. Then he also invited the auditors and the Ministry of the cooperative officials and all other members present in the meeting. We then had the first minute was on the patron's statement, who engaged us and gave a highlight of his role of spiritual oversight over the institution, and also gave a key emphasis on focus on prayer for each and every member of the society and our different engagement, even as we soldier on and engage with the society in a time of crisis as it was last year. So the patron speech was concluded with a word of prayer. Moving on to the next minute, which was a report by the CEO. She started by welcoming the delegates present, of course, giving the highlight of what was happening in the year, and of course, the impact of COVID-19. She pointed out that although the society had recorded some growth in spite of all that was going on, and this was due to great sacrifice of the members and commitment to honoring their commitment to the Sacco. Then the CEO pointed out that the society used technology to boost functionality of the society and improve the services to the members. And so she continued to encourage feedback on the system for the purpose of better services. She went on to highlight the performance, the key performance of the whole society as is enumerated there. We have the figures. There was a growth in revenues by 3.6. Investment income was at 13.9 million as compared to the previous year, which was in 2019, 25.9 million. And there was a decline, a slight decline due to lower deposits in 2020. And then loan portfolio, it had grown by 10% from 1 billion to 1.1 billion in 2020. And she continued to urge the members to continue using the mobile application to borrow affordable loans. The other highlight was on the BOSA membership, which had grown from 10,000 to 10,206 members to 10,541 members in 2020. And then while the FOSA membership had declined from 9,641 to 8,514 in the previous year, that is 2019. The CEO informed the delegates that the society had obtained an approval for a housing product, which was repairable in 84 months. And that product was being used to roll out for the construction of houses in Utange, Mombasa. Then she also informed the delegates that the Eldoret office had been closed. On the strategic focus for 2021 and beyond, the CEO noted that the focus for the year ahead would be enhance the services of the society to members, and she would achieve this through the internet banking, sustained bank business development, and automating customer services and partnership with local and international partners. We moved on well to the next minutes, which was a report by the supervisory. This was given by the chair of the committee, and their main role being to just check on the health of the organization. And he was able to articulate matters regarding risk and compliance, where I can read the chair pointed out that the committee took up the roles of ensuring that the compliance of the society in various areas was well on track. And he also pointed out that the committee took time to look at the credit functioning areas to see how the society would work better in ensuring delivery of the services. Okay, the report went on to talk about the corporate governance, and the chair pointed out that it was a key aspect of managing the society, and the formulation of policies and other guidelines were determined by this function, and this was going on well. In conclusion, he applauded the Office of the Patron for the role it had played in ensuring spiritual oversight dimension were well taken care of. So the report was duly proposed and seconded. We then moved to the report by the chairperson, the chairman, who introduced the board members. So he gave a highlight of the year, which was marked by the crisis of the day, but he continued to appreciate the members and appreciate God for him being faithful to the society. As a result, we were able to make profits. So he pointed out the response to COVID. The board had formulated guidelines which were very instrumental in adopting to new ways in conducting business. So he also added that during the period, Kingdom Sacco took various initiatives, including reconstruction of loans and offering moratoriums, skipping of repayments, and to a total of 444 million worth of loans enjoyed this relief. The next focus was on the financial performance, which is highlighted there. There was an increase. There was a decline by 1% of our revenues in the year 2020, which was attributed to a dip in the investment income. And then the total assets increased to 1.5 billion from 1.4 billion in 2019. Corporate governance, the chair pointed out that the society continued to run on the principles of effective and good corporate governance. He added that the directors were keen to ensure that the operations are run in an ethical platform. He thanked the nominating committee for ensuring that they vetted and recommended qualified people of moral standing to the board. So, yeah, we move to number 7 there. The chair, he talked about those ones who will be retiring and those ones who will be offering themselves for re-election. So we had four board members by then who were eligible to retire in the board, and then in the supervisory we had one person. So he thanked each one of them for their selfless service to Kingdom Sacco during their term. In his closing remarks, the chair appreciated all members whose support had made the 2020 a success, a very great success. The patron for spiritual oversight, fellow directors and members of staff for their dedication and commitment. The partners who had worked with the society and regulator for their role in ensuring that the society remained on course. So the report was also proposed and seconded. Minute 5 of the ADM, it was on the presentation of the the audited financial statement. We had the report which was presented by the treasurer, who noted that despite the hard economic times, in 2020, the society was able to perform well. So we had a few highlights there, and then the auditor's report as read by Ronald and Associates, who are the auditors at that in that year. So yeah, the report ended there. It was proposed and seconded. For minute 6, we had the presentation of 2020 budget and the projection for 2021. The treasurer explained the loan provisions that were projected to decline because members are expected to pay their loans better in 2021. There's also the CapEx items that were raised as a point of agreement to the proposals that have been given for the 2020. And number 3, the treasurer asked members to invest in good mobile phones since the society continued to upgrade its mobile banking so that they can patronize the services of the society. So the treasurer informed members that the board is prudent in expenditure, evidenced by the fact that in 2019, the budget was 4 million and only 1 million had been spent in 2020, given the environment that we all are aware of. So the budget and projections were proposed and seconded for adoption in the meeting. Then we went to the resolutions, and we had 3 resolutions. That was the board indemnity, the borrowing powers, and the payment of interest on deposits and dividends and honorarium. These were all proposed and seconded in the meeting and were adopted for the meeting. We had the reading and the confirmation of the minutes for the 20th ADM, which had been held on 21st March 2020. So we had the minutes read by the then secretary, and they were proposed and seconded, and there was no matter on the minutes that was raised. The next minute was on elections, minute number 9. The chairman of the nominating committee started by introducing the members of the committee to the delegates, and then he went on to the proceeding of the day. He read through the list of members whose position fell vacant due to retirement on rotation, and the list was provided there, and they were not offering themselves for re-election. Then the chair informed the delegates that a notice had gone out asking members to apply for the board positions. We're talking about the chair of the nominating committee, for which would fall vacant, and he added that the committee had received applications from the following members as articulated there. We had 5 of them: Michael Achieng, Esther Ndongo, Magdalene Godho, Meshach Ndegwa, and Wilson Kifavi. Before the new applicants to the boards were elected and approved by the delegates as follows. We had the board members, again, as each of the people who had been elected or approved in the ADM were seconded and proposed and seconded by the members for the 5 positions that had fell vacant. So we go to number 5, the remarks of the Ministry of Cooperative representative, who was Elizabeth Wamboi. The ministry representative appreciated the attendance of the ADM and commended the board for the initiative of adopting technology. She asked members to continue using the service to attain growth of the society. And she also asked the board to continue adhering to the regulations of the Sacco for good governance. She asked members to continue to communicate with other members and to ensure that loans are paid on a timely basis. And she requested that the board be keen in attending meetings organized by the Ruiru Sub-County Office. So the minute number 10, which is the last one, it was on any other business. We had the CEO presented the list of members who had performed well in various categories and announced that the members will be informed to collect their gifts. And then there was also a delegate, Mr. Peter Legis, who had proposed some recommendations to the chat room, and the chair reported that this would be considered comprehensively in 2021. And I believe from the strategic plan, this was, and the sharing today, the delegates are aware that many things had been taken into consideration. There was no other business in the meeting, and the meeting ended with a word of prayer at 12:18. It has been signed, the minutes are signed by the chair and the secretary. Thank you.
Thank you, Magdalene, for a very comprehensive presentation of the minutes of the previous delegates meeting, which was held last year in the same month of March. I think it was on 13th of March. Still held virtually with limited physical attendance, just like we are doing it today. So that's how it was held. So we request that we have somebody to confirm that those were the minutes of the meeting for last time, and that we had in 2020. I know there are a lot of delegates who are delegates then and are still delegates today, so I think we can be able to confirm that that was the record of the minutes that we had. So just somebody to propose and somebody to second that. Yeah, let's have somebody to, yes, we have Peace Emolon, Peace Emolon, please go ahead. Peace, if you can hear us, go ahead and mute your mic and speak. Okay, in the meantime, okay. If you are there, give me few more seconds, or we go to, are they unmuted? Okay, so let's go to Joyce Wairimo-Thuo. Joyce Wairimo-Thuo. And we also still need somebody else to second. We seem not to be hearing from Peace. So Joyce Wairimo-Thuo, please.
Good afternoon. Joyce Wairimo-Thuo, member number 1848. I propose.
Okay, thank you, Joyce, member number 1848. Thank you for the proposal. Let's have somebody to second that, because we seem to see Peace can't hear them. Rose Mochoki, please.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rose Mochoki, member number 3259. I second.
Thank you, Rose. Member number 3259, Rose Mochoki. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for that. So I think we are clear with the minutes, and we appreciate everybody. We appreciate the delegates. I think before we go to the next item on the agenda, just one or two comments on some. I think there's a comment on the chat with regard to the appointment of auditors, and I think there's a proposal that 3 years maybe is a short time for us to keep an auditor, that maybe we should, considering the rules that are there, consider maybe 3 to 5 years, or consider a longer period. And also a question on maybe the considerations we were having in terms of the auditors, which where do we consider the tier of auditors. So basically, I think on this one, the reasoning for releasing the auditors after 3 years is basically that is a SASRA requirement, that auditors should serve 3 years. After 3 years, there has to be a change. That change that does not prohibit those auditors from coming back again to audit after some time, as long as they have to take a break after 3 years. So this is basically we don't have a choice to let them stay for 5 years, because it is actually a requirement by our regulators that maximum 3 years they have to change. So that's basically the reasoning for our action. I think the second issue is SASRA also provides us with a list of auditors from which to select. So there are many auditors, there are many audit firms, but some of them are not approved by the regulator to conduct audit for SACCOs. So they are not part of that list. So basically what we ensure is that we also comply with that requirement by going to the list that SASRA has released and pick an auditor from that particular list, so that we are not taking an auditor who is not part of that list. But of course, even the other due diligence has to be the ISPAC confirmation, the registration, and all those other details. But basically, those are the requirements. The requirements, or basically that is how we look at it. And I think, I hope that is a bit clear. We also have had other comments that members have made some comments or some questions that are not very directly related to the specific items we were having here. And we want to assure the members that we have captured each of those comments or each of those questions, and we will be able to clarify to you. We'll be able to, after this, one of the things we'll do is once we finish the ADM, we will even send a newsletter to you that goes to all our members that talks about even the decisions made in the ADM. Inside of that, we will also enclose any questions that maybe could have been asked that is not directly related to the items we were tackling today. For example, it's not a budget question. It is maybe, like I saw, there's a question on maybe one of our large projects, somebody asking about maybe one of the Naivasha project. So those questions, we will answer them that were not particular to the areas of the ADM. We will answer all of them. We will clarify all of them. And as I even said in my initial remarks, we will also be having engagements in the very near future with the youth delegates and also the house leaders and all that. So I think that's it. I hope we don't have any question that needed that related to this. All right. So I think then we want to go to the next. We almost close to finalizing our annual delegates meeting. We are almost there. We want to go to the maybe the last issue, that is the elections, and we want to invite the chairperson of the nominating team. We have a nominating of the Sacco, that reviews and vets the people that are to be elected into serve in the board and the supervisory team. And I will want to hand over that to him. This is Dalmas Menya. Dalmas is not in the country, so he will be doing it virtually. We're able to see him. And Dalmas, I think over to you for this session as he introduces the nominating committee of the Sacco and take it us to the next level. Thank you, Dalmas.
Thank you very much, Meshek, Chairman of Kingdom Sacco. I'm very delighted to join you virtually for this year's annual delegates meeting. I think the last time I spoke to the delegates meeting, I was in Sudan, but this time I'm speaking to you from Uganda. And of course, physicality no longer defines our gathering, so I'm so glad to join you this day in celebrating what God has done to us in the development of the institution in the midst of the crisis that has already been highlighted. Let me start, because of time, by introducing the membership of the nominating committee, which, as you are aware, is responsible for all the aspects on the nomination and vetting of individuals to hold office in the management and the board of Kingdom Sacco. I think if we have Nicholas Moura, Nicholas Moura serves as the vice chair. I don't know if we can roll the camera to see Nicholas Moura. It should be somewhere in attendance. Yes, so we have Nicholas Moura there. Thank you, Nicholas. And then we have Rosemary Karanja, who is also a member of the nominating committee. Rosemary, is Rosemary there? Yes, yes. I'm not sure we can see Rosemary, but we have yes, but we have Gerald Karidi. Gerald, yeah, Rosemary is here. Rosemary is there. So yeah, Rosemary, if you can wave. And then we have Gerald Karidi. We have Gerald Karidi. Gerald, if you can raise your hand. Yes, that is Gerald. And then we have Stephen Mwangi Kagwe. So if you can see Stephen. Yes, Steve, thank you. Thank you, Steve. So those are the members of the nominating team. And I want to really appreciate the nominating committee for the work that they have done throughout the past year and in standing alongside the members of staff and the board in the development of the institution. I want to, because of time, move very fast in presenting the report of the nominating committee, and in particular in presenting candidates who applied for election into the board of Kingdom Sacco. As has already been highlighted, a notice was sent out on the 4th of February of 2022 for the annual delegates meeting that is being held today. In that notice, there was a specific call to members of Kingdom Sacco interested in holding positions in the board to actually apply through the completion of a prescribed form and the submission of some relevant documents that were indicated. And of course, we received applications for various positions that became vacant in the board and in the supervisory committee, as I will now highlight. In the board, there were 3 positions that were created by the completion of the stipulated 3-year term in the board by the following. Number 1, the retirement of Rose Nyawira Ngure by rotation, who completed a 3-year term in accordance with the Cooperative Society's rules, which are in force. And of course, Rose is eligible for re-election and has therefore applied, and we will be presenting her for re-election. Number 2, we had the retirement of Mr. Solomon Thuo by rotation, and again in accordance with the regulations of the society, as well as the bylaws. Solomon is also eligible for re-election and has applied, and we will be presenting him for re-election into the board. Number 3, we had the retirement of Mr. Meshak Ndegwa by rotation, again in accordance with the established regulations. Ndegwa came in to actually serve the last year in the term of the former chairman of Kingdom Sacco, and therefore he has served for just 1 year in completion of that 3-year term, which was not completed. The former chairman served for only 2 years. And so obviously, Mr. Ndegwa is eligible for re-election, and therefore he has applied and will be seeking a fresh mandate for a 3-year term. So we will be presenting Meshach. Further to the above, there were 2 positions that became vacant by virtue of what is already highlighted, the resignation of 2 board members who had served 1 and 2 years respectively, as I now mentioned. We had Mike Achieng. I think this was highlighted also by Mike Achieng resigned from the board to pursue other engagements. Thank you very much, Mike, for the service that you have rendered to the institution. Then we had the resignation of Anne Kamau from the board after 2 years of service, so that she could comply with some new policy at her workplace. And therefore, Anne has been released from the board on that basis. And we want to thank Anne for the dedicated service for those 2 years. Further to those positions in the board that became vacant, I also want to highlight that in the supervisory committee, there was 1 position that became vacant by virtue of Beatrice Kaniu, a member of the a member of the supervisory committee, retiring by rotation and in accordance with the established regulations and the society's bylaws. And Beatrice, being eligible for re-election, has applied, and we have done the vetting, and we will therefore be presenting her candidature for consideration. I now therefore wish to present the summary of our vetting, the vetting of the nominating team of the candidates that actually applied for the board positions, as well as the slot that was created by the expiry of that term in the supervisory committee. And therefore, pursuant to the provisions of the society's bylaws and the established regulations, the nominating committee received and vetted the applications of various candidates for those positions in the board and in the supervisory committee. And I now wish to present those candidates. I will start with Robert Kamoche Karaoke. And if Robert is in the audience, I think it might be good for him to stand. Where is Robert? Is Robert here? If we can see Robert, yes, I think we have. Do we have Robert? Yes, so Robert Kamoche Karaoke is a registered quantity surveyor with over 20 years experience in construction industry. Yes, that is Robert Kamoche. Thank you, Robert. You may remain standing as I present you to the delegates. Robert has 15 years experience in contractors, in-house quantity surveying, specializing in outfit contracts, tendering, contract documentation, programming of work, and a host of related aspects that in relation to his area of expertise. Further, we noted that Robert is a businessman and practicing quantity surveyor. He runs a company by the name HMR Consultants that has been offering services to various clients in the marketplace. In terms of education, Robert holds a bachelor's degree in quantity surveying from the Technical University of Kenya, that is TUK. He has a diploma in building from the Kenya Technical Teachers College, KTTC, and a diploma in technical training from the same college. He is currently pursuing his master's degree and is at the final stages. He's actually doing his writing his thesis. And we present Robert Kamoche to you. Thank you, Robert. You may take your seat. You will come back again for the approval. Thank you. Thank you, Robert. May we have Grace Akinyi, if she's in attendance, to stand. Grace Akinyi, we received an application from Grace. Yes, we have Grace. This is Grace. Grace Akinyi Otieno is an economist with extensive service with the government of Kenya as a planner from 1987 until her retirement in 2019. You can therefore calculate and note that Grace has 32 years of experience in government service that has given her exceptional professional competency, particularly in the areas of policy and strategy, performance-based management, research, monitoring, evaluation, resource mobilization, fundraising, and community development. During her service in government, Grace worked and networked extensively with public sector institutions, the civil society, and development partners. She has a unique experience and achievement in coordinating decentralized planning in Kenya. I think Grace is one of those that, just going through her profile, I noted those who worked in the initial aspects of the devolution. She worked in the coordination of the devolved systems of government, which is now known as the country systems of government. Moreover, she has been involved in initiating, coordinating, and developing anti-drug policies and strategies, as well as numerous other development projects and key public policies and strategies. She has worked closely with the African Union, the East African Community, various United Nations agencies, which include the UNDP, the United Nations Development Programme, the United Nations Office for Drug and Crime, UNODC, Food and Agriculture Organization, the World Health Organization, the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, as well as others. Grace has also worked closely with numerous bilateral and multilateral governments and aid agencies, including the Swedish Development Corporation, that is SIDA, the Danish International Development Agency, that is DANIDA. She has also worked with the US aid, the United States Agency for International Development, and Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, among others. Further, Grace has initiated and coordinated capacity development efforts within and outside the government of Kenya. And Grace is currently serving as principal consultant at Sapienta Consulting, which she initiated in 2019. Grace holds a bachelor's degree in commerce, a master's degree in economics, postgraduate diplomas in integrated regional rural development from Israel, and national security studies, among other qualifications. Thank you very much, Grace. We'll present you to the delegates for approval. Next, I present one you know well already, Meshach Ndegwa. Meshach Ndegwa is Meshach here. And Meshach, I know you have been speaking to the delegates, but now I would like to present you afresh. Okay. Thank you, Meshach. That is Meshach Ndegwa. Meshach Ndegwa is a finance and banking professional with over 15 years experience in strategy, financial management, accounting, and banking, with broad knowledge of financial services sector, having worked with key financial institutions, which include the Commercial Bank of Africa, as well as the Gulf Bank, where he currently serves. Meshach holds a Master of Business Administration in Strategic Management from the University of Nairobi, as well as a bachelor's degree in Commerce, accounting option from Kenyatta University. Meshach is also a certified public accountant of Kenya and a member of the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya, that is ISPAC. Thank you, Meshach, and welcome. We'll be presenting you to the delegates for approval. Next, I have Ms. Beatrice Njeri Kaniu. If Beatrice is here, Beatrice, we can see you. Yes, that is Beatrice Kaniu. Beatrice Kaniu is a senior forensic expert with a solid expertise and rich experience in financial crime investigations, internal audit, and credit management. She has over 14 years experience in risk-based audit and fraud assessment and management, as well as internal controls and governance systems. She has considerable experience in financial services, particularly in banking, insurance, fund management, and stock brokerage. Further, she has a unique experience in data mining and analytical skills, business process analysis, and stakeholder management. In terms of academic and professional qualifications, she's a certified fraud examiner, certified public accountant, and holds a bachelor's degree from Kenyatta University. She is currently pursuing digital forensics and data science and analytic qualifications. Thank you very much, Beatrice. We are happy to have you. Next, I will present Rosbel Nyawira. I know Rosbel has also made some presentations today, and so you know her, but I would like to present her afresh. because as of now, she stands retired, and we are presenting her for consideration. We received her application, and we are grateful to you, Rosebel, for the service you've rendered and for reapplying for re-election. Rosebel Nyawira is a finance specialist with vast experience in risk analysis and financial audit, as has already been attested. She has over 15 years of practice in internal and external audits in various multinational companies, diverse industries, and investments. She has notable achievements in leading teams by structuring audit programs with a view of examining company records with a keen eye for accessing and ensuring statutory compliance. She has comprehensive understanding and experience in guiding business process improvements, designing policies and procedures to mitigate risks exposures. In terms of professional and academic qualifications, we recognize that Rosebel holds a bachelor's degree in education from Kenyatta University, that is KU, certified public accountant qualification, and with ISPAC, as well as various certifications from the African Tax Administration Forum, ATAF, and the International Monetary Fund. Thank you very much, Rosebel, and for applying for re-election. Finally, I want to present Mr. Solomon Tuo, who was introduced earlier. Solomon, if you may stand also, very briefly. Solomon Tuo is, Solomon, yes, that is Solomon. Solomon Tuo is an ICT specialist with expertise and over 10 years experience in IT infrastructure, implementation, and various projects relating to management of services, business applications, IT advisory, and many other services. Solomon has previously served in various blue chip technology companies, including 7Cs, where he served for 7 years as head of enterprise networks before he founded his company. He's therefore the founder and managing partner of One Life Consultants, which is a technology company, but also a network of consultants that is dedicated to providing IT solutions to businesses across Africa. I think I noted that they have a focus on Africa. Through One Life, Solomon has offered, designed and actually implemented, supported various IT solutions to various companies and across various sectors. And we noted that the companies that he has served are fairly those with significant footprint in the market, such as Tullow Oil, National Microfinance Bank, Tanzania, the National Social Security Fund in Kenya, Enashipai Spa and Resort in Naivasha, Brookside Dairies, the Nairobi Hospital, and the Nairobi City County, among others. Solomon holds a bachelor's degree in computer science from Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, as well as various certifications, which include Advanced Data Center Storage Networking Specialist with Cisco, Cisco Unified Computing Systems Nexus Networking Training in Dubai, Fastlane, Service Provider Wireline Video Head and Design Expert with Cisco Labs, Juniper Routing and Switching, KTC in Kenya. We also noted that Solomon has some very unique qualifications and which include a certified voice professional, CCVP, Cisco certified network professional, CCNP, Cisco certified routing and switching specialist, Cisco certified design associate, CCDA, Cisco certified network associate, CCNA, and Cisco certified wireless LAN specialist. Quite a host of qualifications. Thank you very much, Solomon. And we're happy to have received your application for the election into the board. I now wish to present these candidates to the delegates for consideration for service in the board. Of course, as mentioned earlier, most of them have served in the board and are offering themselves for re-election in pursuit of the established regulations. And therefore, having considered the applications from the above persons as are presented, and pursuant to the applicable regulations, including the society's bylaws regarding relevant qualifications that would admit candidates to the board and to the supervisory committee, the nominating team recommends the following candidates to the annual delegates meeting for election to the board. And I now want to present them one by one, again now for the approval of the delegates. And as I present them, I will be asking for a proposer and a seconder. Would Mr. Robert Kamoche now stand for the delegates' considerations and therefore approval into the board of Kingdom Sacco? And at this stage, I want to request for proposals and seconders for Robert Kamoche. Can we have that very fast? The ICT team, if you can unmute those who are raising up their hands. So lift up your hands, delegates. Yes, Nelias Wanjiru, unmute and go ahead.
I'm Nelias Wanjiru Thu, member number 1126.
Thank you very much, Nelias, for proposing. Yes, can we have a seconder? Beatrice Kikoto. Yes, Beatrice, unmute and go ahead. Beatrice, unmute and go ahead. Okay, seems that Beatrice has an issue. Can we have Edward Mugo? Edward, if you're there, unmute and go ahead. 2 seconds. Yes, Edward, go ahead. Yes, Edward, you may proceed. Seems like they're having some technical issues. Can we go back? Let's go to Jane Mweni. Jane, yes, Jane, please proceed.
Jane Mweni, member number 391. I second.
Thank you very much, Jane. Excellent. So thank you. Proposer seconded. Thank you, Robert. You may take your seat. We have Grace Otieno. Can we have Grace Akinyi Otieno, a proposer and seconder? Yes. Can I have hands up? Yes. Edward Mugo, you can proceed. This time, I hope you can be heard. Still technical issues with Edward. We can't hear you. Can we go back to Beatrice?
Yes, I'm Beatrice. Yes, I'm Beatrice, member number 5680.
Yes.
I second the board member.
Are you proposing? You're proposing, Grace?
Yes.
Good. Thank you. Proposed. Yes. Let's have a seconder. Virginia Mudoni. Virginia Mudoni.
Yes, Virginia Mudoni Dongo, member number 6507. I second Grace.
Thank you very much for that. So proposed and seconded. Thank you, Grace. Okay. Let's go to Meshach Ndegwa. Meshach Ndegwa. Yes, so we have Meshach Ndegwa. Can we have a proposer and a seconder? Yes, let's have Elijah Kungu.
Hello, Mr. Elijah Mongi Kongo, member number 00-2000-005. I propose.
Thank you, Elijah. Thank you very much, Elijah. Excellent. Can we have a seconder? Matilda. Matilda, if you can unmute, go ahead.
I'm Matilda Kubende, member number 7303. I second. Meshach.
Excellent. Thank you very much. That's great. Thank you, Meshach. You may take your seat. Then we have Rosbel Nyawira. I want to present Rosbel Nyawira for a proposer and a seconder. Yes, John N. Gikonyo. If you can unmute and go ahead. John N. Gikonyo.
Yes, my name is John Gikonyo, member number 5732. I propose Rosebell to be a director. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, John. Let's have a seconder, Leah Wanja. Unmute and proceed.
I'm Leah Wanja Njenga, member number 3601. I second.
Thank you very much for proposing and seconding. Yes, Rosebell, thank you very much. You may have your seat. And then we have Solomon Duo. Let's have Solomon Duo. Thank you, Solomon. And let's have a proposer and a seconder. Yes, Priscilla. Priscilla Gashigi.
Hi, everyone.
My name is Priscilla, member number 22435. I second the appointment of Solomon.
You are proposing.
Sorry, I propose the appointment of Solomon. Sorry, sorry about that.
Thank you very much, Priscilla. We heard you very clearly. Let's have a seconder. Mercy Gisharu.
Mercy Gisharu. Second, member number 17001.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the proposal and for the seconding. Solomon, thank you very much. You may have your seat. Thank you. And then finally, let me present Beatrice. Beatrice, can you? Beatrice, can you? Can we have Beatrice? Yes, Beatrice is standing. Can we have a proposer and a seconder? Yes, we have Fresha Wanjiku.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Fresha.
Fresha Wanjiku, member number 18151. I propose.
Thank you very much. Boaz Otieno, if you may proceed. Boaz, you can unmute and proceed.
Hi, once more. I'm Boaz Otieno Moga, member 001 005332. I second the appointment of Beatrice.
Thank you very much, Boaz, for that. Thank you, Beatrice. You may have your seat. Thank you very much, delegates and the leaders of Kingdom Sacco gathered for this 23rd annual delegates meeting. That was the report of the nominating committee and the vetting of the candidates and the recommendations which have all been approved. We want to take this opportunity to express our gratitude. And I say so on behalf of the nominating team for the opportunity to continue to serve within the office of the patron of Kingdom Sacco. Thank you, and may God bless you. I want to hand over to the CEO to take us to the next level. Madam CEO, back to you.
Thank you, Dalmas. And from here, we'll move quickly to the next level. I want to invite Elizabeth Waboy, Minister of Cooperative, to give her remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, the CEO, the chairman, all protocols observed. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Wamboy Kinovia, Cooperative Officer for Ruiru Sub-County, and I'm glad to be in this 23rd annual delegate meeting. And with me, I have my colleague, who is Stephen Mwangi.
Please bend a bit.
Sorry.
Come closer to the mic.
Sorry.
Thank you.
With me, I have my colleague, who is Stephen Mwangi. And on behalf of the ministry, he will do some comments and highlights. And I welcome you, Stephen.
Yes, good afternoon. I am Stephen Mwangi. Stephen Mwangi is a cooperative officer in charge of Kiambu sub-county. I remember when we came in, the CEO introduced us as partners, but you're not partners, we are colleagues. We work together with Elizabeth. This is my second time attending the ADM of Kingdom Sacco. The first time it was back, I think, in 2018 or 2017, before I was transferred to Juja, and now I'm in Kiambu sub-county. I have a few comments to make. I'll take very little time. One is to appreciate that cooperatives are resilient due to COVID-19 in 2020. You can see that cooperatives are still standing because they are member-based, they are member-oriented organization. The second comment is on education, training, and information, and I'll encourage the society to continue giving their members education because I normally believe this education, training, and information. This is a fifth principle of cooperatives, and I normally insist that this is the most important principle, because you can have all the monies, but if you don't have education, training of the staff, the board, and your membership, that will be in vain. The third comment is on CAP 490 is being amended. You remember that it was repealed in 1997. It was amended in 2004. And you remember in 2010, we had the new constitution, and the act was never aligned to the 2010 constitution. Currently, there is a bill for cooperative. It has been subjected to various levels of public participation, and it's introducing a few new things, and also aligning the same to the constitution for 2010. For example, and we had a discussion here. That's why we opted to sit together, so that we consult one another, whether the nominating committee for Kingdom Sacco is anchored in the bylaw, and also is authorized to conduct elections. Because for those who are here and you've attended many AGMs, you'll notice that at all times is the cooperative officer refers as the returning officer. So the bill now clearly recommends that there will be a nominating committee, which will consist of 3 people, and the chair will be the director. In extension, the officer will be in charge of that particular sub-county cooperative office. And then you'll have a secretary who will be the CEO of the organization of the Sacco, or the cooperative society, and another independent person who is not in the board, but can be a minister of a church, can be a lawyer, or a government officer. So that one now in the bill, if it goes through the way it is, then that will be very, very clear, as CAP 490 left a bit of gray areas on the same. Also, the bill is recommending dropping of the name society. Is dropping the name society. So at the end of the day, Kingdom Sacco will not have the society name. It will just read Deposit Taking Kingdom Savings and Credit Cooperative. Also, there will be a special court for cooperative society. Currently, we all know of cooperative tribunal. It will still be retained, but there will be introduction of special courts for cooperative. The last number 4 comment is just a suggestion. The chair, one of the resolution was on indemnity, and the indemnity for society with almost 1.7 billion in total assets. The indemnity amount is 150,000 shillings. It's a suggestion that should be looked at, and the indemnity increased since the society is wealthy enough. The other comment is on wealth declaration. The deadline was on was end of 31st. So for those the board that are in now and the incoming, the new ones, it is a requirement that you file indemnity within 14 days, and also you declare your wealth within 30 days. With those many remarks, thank you.
Thank you, Mwangi. I now remember you. At least I've remembered having seen you sometimes, but I know you left. So and then you are seated facing the other side, so I couldn't tell who is there. So thank you, and it's good to see you again. It means we didn't fight you, and we will never fight you. So thank you. I think I have captured these comments, and I really appreciate. That update is very good. Yes, there is a new bill that is being passed. And once passed, of course, it will affect us. And it's good, our cooperative officer has mentioned that, because now even as members, as we talk to the rest of the members we meet, when we find our name is not leading society, don't say we killed the Sacco and it's a new entity now. And of course, once the bill is passed, we will recommend all our members to read. You try to see whether we can get copies and circulate so that we can all be informed. I like that consultation part on what the nominating team constitutes. Let's start with, it is in our bylaws. That one at least I know. And we were talking with Madam Wamboi in between the session, and I've made her know it is there. But for the sake of you delegates online, yes, it is embedded in our bylaws. But you realize what will happen in case now the bylaws, the new bill comes with a different structure. We may have to go back to amend the bylaws. So that's what I'm saying. If the new bill comes with major things, then we will have to look back to our bylaws and see whether there's any need for change. But the constitution is there. The team is clearly stated there, and it is their law is what they have just done to go through to vet the members on behalf of all of us. Otherwise, you all come here and vet the members, and then present them. Of course, there are so many other things that Mwangi has mentioned here, but majorly this one for education and training. When we call our members for our meetings, let's stand up. It's only when we are informed that we can carry the Sacco together, that we can move the organization forward out of being informed. If I am standing at the edge, sometimes I see someone lifting the hand and asking the question, which is the answer. At that point, I don't know how to answer you because I'll look like I'm being lewd. So let's come for these trainings. Let's discuss. Like from today, I've seen so many comments, and we'll look at them and see how to respond to them as the chairman has mentioned. Sorry, I wanted to take the meeting to the next level, which is the last part. And then after that, I will request we have a comment from the chief. Our chief is in, and of course, there are some changes in the government, which is good we be informed from the horse's mouth. So, sorry, I've not called you a horse. Someone may go saying I called the chief the horse. He has a better structure because he's the one handling that. So you comment immediately, read through the gifts that we have for those who performed well. As we said, we improved, and we improved because of you and me and that other person who did our part. And it's good I mention a few. We have about 6 categories, about how many? 3 categories, broad categories, and in each category we have a different subdivision. The first category I have here is for best savers. And maybe let me mention something before I can go to the gifts. As you can see, all our delegates and our gifts guys and the rest of us are online. So you may ask, how will I get the gift? This is how we do it. In the course of next week, we organize for the gifts to be delivered to the nearest office where you are. And then we organize how you collect hopefully from Thursday. We will ensure that the gifts are delivered to the nearest office by Wednesday. So from Thursday, you can liaise with the office near you, of course, with the team that has dealt with you as they were guiding you, and you'll be able to get your gift. I will just read the name and the field, let me call it the subcategory. So at the best savers, we have 3 categories. One is for master junior. We have one of our young generation, let me call them young generation, who is doing very well. He's the best improved in this section. He is Joe Mushai. This will be care of course, the parent, David Mushai Gatonye. He's online, and we appreciate you, the parent, of course, for stewarding this child's account, and we encourage you to keep it up. And we also encourage the rest of us as parents, wherever we are, to also do something to the accounts of our kids, so that they can fall in this category. We have one for BOSA, still at the best savers. This is the one who has performed the best in BOSA, year 2021. And I want to make a comment on this one. We always say, I see some people sitting and telling me because they are relocating. The best saver in BOSA here is currently and has been residing in Australia. So when you tell me because you've gone out of country and you want to close the account, then it's not a good reason. Eh? So we have technology, as one of us has said, and we've made the technology reach you wherever you are. So wherever you are, you can still save. So our best saver for BOSA in the year 2021 is Ruth Kikonyo, who is coming from the diaspora, specifically in Australia. Currently, she's not online. She was in, but she had some commitments, so she requested to be allowed out. We have also another one in the same category, corporate BOSA deposit. In this case, is a corporate, as I've said, not individual. And we have a member called Full Gospel Churches of Kenya, Lualaka. At the last time I checked, they were not online, but I have seen one member who was lifted, so I believe they were on. I don't know whether I need to mention the member number. Sorry, I think I forgot that. So for Joe Mushai is member number 5547. For Ruth Gikonyo is member number 30730. You can see the gap difference. Someone may tell me I'm not considering the old members. No, it is a mix. It is where you are because it is based on where how you run your account. Then for Full Gospel is member number 15164. I want to go to the second category, transactions. Those who have, because we have to look at different angles. The first one was best savers. The one I'm looking at now is the transaction use of the transactional accounts. The first one is KSA Heritage, and this is a youth. He is David Gugin Dungu, member number 10815. We are encouraging our youth to take up the Sacco and grow it. And of course, when we uptake this use of technology and transactions, it also goes very well. The second one for now, FOSA. The first one was KSA Heritage, which is for the youth. The other one is for FOSA. And the one who is getting the gift there is Stephen Dungu Chuchu, member number 5497. And then we want also to consider corporate. And there are two in this category. We have Life Reformation Church, and we have Neema Hospital. So each will get something. We go to the most active, which is the last category that we had. No, not the last one. I have the last one, but in this section I have several subdivisions. I have the most active use of alternative banking channels, which is the main overall. And here we have clustered into different angles in order to ensure we factor, we don't leave out the early presentation in a certain area. The most active use of SMS or mobile banking is the first one I want to appreciate. He's called Dante Kinyozi from our system, because this is a youth who has registered his Kinyozi with us. And I'm encouraging you who has that other business to also register with us. Eh? Yeah. His names are Daniel Nganga, and he's already contacted, so he's aware. Dante Kinyozi, member number 35184. The most active call deposit account. We have this as the many services that we offer. Call deposit is one of the accounts, and we have Northgate School, member number 8277. Then we have the most outstanding performance across financial products and services. Active, when we look at this one and this one and this one, we find you are active in across all of them. And we have member number 3259, Los Wanjiko Mushoki. Then we have the best performing house. We also recognize if the house was run well, we recognize that. And the best performing house was Horizon House, based in Naivasha. And I was told 20 of them were online. I don't mind them putting the video, we see them. That's a whole group seated together in one location. And we really appreciate when the house is run well, when the group is run well, because this is a model that we always sell. If we come together, we bring energy, right? When I guarantee you and you guarantee me, we end up going very far. New Horizon House, I don't know whether we are able to put video. I know Elijah Kongo was is the one with the group. Yes, I can see like Elijah. Yes, I can see the video coming. Elijah, you'll comment on behalf of the team there. You tint the cameras right down so that we can see the members. Tint the cameras right down. It's a bit dark. Yeah, we can see some people waving. Thank you. Thank you. We wave back. Thank you. Elijah, you can comment. Anyway, it seems like we are not able to get that. It's okay, Elijah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. At least we've seen the group there. We are happy. And the last gift I want to consider today is for within 2021. And board member number, as I said, all these gifts are ready and they will be delivered to the office nearest you to ensure we are able to, you're able to access it. Before I finish, and I call the chief, I want to make one or two comments. One is on dividend and interest. I don't want us to go asking, so what next? As we've said, we want to ensure the dividend and interest is processed preferably before the end of next week. The end of next week means by Friday. We will, of course, alert all the members once it is done. And we are strongly encouraging everyone to activate our accounts. For last, we normally get a lot of activate my account so I can withdraw my dividend. Let's activate our FOSA accounts before so that the account can be ready to transact. Then it will be accessed through your phone, wherever you are, or through internet banking, whichever way you want to use it, to access it. It will be accessed through that. It will guide you where you want to maybe check your balance or to see the figures or anything. We'll guide you on that through the newsletter that should come next week in order to ensure you are able to move. Next thing I wanted to comment is for those of us who are streaming online, We had discussed last time and agreed you referred the bundles. We appreciate you've used bundles, and it will come back. You'll be refunded the bundles that you've used plus something small for taking care of you. I can see it is lunch hour. Someone will ask me where is lunch. So it will come through technology. The other thing I wanted to mention, which is maybe the final part, for all of us who are online, we have noted the number. We have noted the number that turned up. There will be a gift pack for you, which you also collect at the nearest office. And I'll say also from, let's say this one from Thursday. If you're a delegate and you're online, there will be a gift pack for you. From Thursday, we can pass through the offices and we can pick them. With that, I want to put a pause, give the chief 1 or 2 minutes, after which I'll be able to close the meeting. Thank you. 1 minute as the chief gives us 1 remark, 1 to 2 remarks.
Okay, thanks, Madam CEO. Now, the management team and delegates, good afternoon. I'm Simon Mainge. I'm the area chief. Mine is just brief. First of all, to thank the management and the delegates for attending this meeting. And it's quite encouraging. So I have 2 titles here. Na ni vizuri kwa sababu Madam CEO amelicognize serikali kiongea, hakuna mwingine anaongea. Tunaenda nyumbani, si ndio? Credit to you, Madam CEO. So, mimi ni member number 1811. Hata mimi ni mzee hapa. Kwa hivyo hata kama kuna zawadi inapeanwa, sijui kwa nini nabaki nyuma. So, I want to say this, in the government setup, we have new changes. Na sio ya president, unajua president akitana mkutano unaona sasa kama kimeumana, sio hiyo. So we have been reporting to Loiro sub county formally, and hata nimeona kwa the AGM is written over the CC, Loiro sub county hivyo. So we have now the new sub county called Githurai sub county. Amwezi piga makofi. So we no longer reporting at Loiro, tuko na new sub county called Githurai. Kwa hivyo mambo ya kwenda kwa DCC. By the way, the DCC is the former DC. Unajua nikisema DCC wengine wajui ni nani? The DCC is the former DC. Now we have the new DCC here with us here at the DO's, the former DO's office is there. It's a gentleman, he's a good man, and we are going to go together. So Githurai imekuwa sana. And thank God, because now we have been interceding for this. Now the right time has come. We have the new DCC, and we are going to have several, like 3 divisions. Tulikuwa na division moja inaitwa Githurai, the only division ambayo ilikuwa headed by the ACC, the former DO. Tulikuwa mnamjua DO, is the ACC, Assistant County Commissioner. So we are going to have at least 3 divisions, which makes the sub county. We are going to have Githurai, which is existing. We are going to have the Kio division, and we are going to have Muhoko division. Kwa hivyo inakuwa, si ndio? We have been having one chief from here up to bypass. Chief moja tu Githurai. Sasa tutakuwa na 6 chiefs. So, because now like Githurai division, we are going to have 2 chiefs. Na chief moja anakuwa na assistant wawili. So we are going to have 6 government officers at Githurai location, si ndio? Alafu tukienda Kio tuwe na machiefs wawili na assistant 6, si ndio? Because each and every chief akona assistant wawili. Tuenda Muhoko 2 chiefs, 6 assistant chiefs. So we are going to have a very wide group of 18 girls. Girls ni national government administrative officers. Sio girls ya wasichana. national government administrative officers. And the new, also you are going to have the 3 ACCs. Tulikuwa tu na moja hapa Githurai, si ndio? Hapa Githurai division. We are going to have an ACC hapa, existing one. Then we are going to have another one at Kio division and the other one at Mwako division. Kwa hivyo tunakuwa, si ndio? And also grow. Hata input yetu itakuwa, si ndio? Sababu sasa wengine walikuwa naona kwenda Ruiru unakata fare kwenda huko, Kabasab, Tedious. Sasa hata kama ni our patron here, my friend, is my friend. It's a walking distance from his office to go to the DCC hapa, si ndio? So we are going to have those things. Now already it's gazetted na DCC ako. Si ati anakuja, he is there. When he faces his office from Monday, you are going to find him there. Si ndio? Also vile nataka kumalizia niseme ya kwamba as we approach the elective seasons, we are just urging our members, tafadhali mahali huko, let us preach peace. Tuko pamoja? Because we don't want to see vile sasa imeanza ku raise eyebrows, hii siasa imeanza ku raise eyebrows. We don't want that. Mahali huko uwe peace ambassador, si ndio? With those few remarks, nataka kumalizia hapo na niseme ya kwamba Mungu awabariki. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We really appreciate when we have some of these clarities brought to us. We now know better that the government of services have come closer to where we are. And even where we address our letters, we change and several other things. Thank you. We really appreciate that. With that, I want to appreciate all of us for giving us time. We have exceeded the time we had planned, but it means you also engaged us, and we really appreciate that. And without much ado, thank you all for your time. Thank you for patience. Thank you for working with us. And we can only say we have a brighter year ahead, and let's learn it. I want to ask one of us to play for us so we can conclude the session. May I request Nicholas to play for us? Thank you.
So let's pray together. We appreciate you, our Heavenly Father, because of this great day. We thank you that we started well, and we have deliberated on issues that pertain to this ADM. We honor you because of the success and the victory and the beauty that is displayed even in this day. We thank you for all those people that participated, those that are present and those also online. We thank you that we are able to coordinate and work together. We appreciate you for the year that's ahead of us. We want to believe that the projections of the things that we are looking forward to, the strategies that we have, it will come to pass, and that will give us wisdom, will give us skills and resources that are required to bring this kingdom circle to the next level. Yes, it is in the midst of crisis, it's in the midst of havoc and terror, but we pray that God, you will stabilize us and make us stronger, established circle that can be able to become a model to many circles around us. We thank you for the government that is supporting. Thank you for the churches and members that are with us. We honor you, Lord, that as we move forward, we'll be able to see the beauty and the power of God upon our lives. In Jesus' name we do pray.
Amen. And thank you. We will request to disperse the meeting at that point. But of course, we can keep interacting, especially for those who are here physically. Yeah, for those of us physically here, we are serving lunch, and we can, the lunch is on my right. Okay, I know for you online, you're seeing me point my left. It's still okay. It depends on where you are seeing me from. And I request we take lunch as we interact. For you who is online, as I we organize for it. Unfortunately, not now, next week. Thank you.
Yakuwada bodata, yakuwada boye. so many reasons